The story of McLaren is all about a Kiwi jumping off a shed. Being one of F1's most successful teams, you may be wondering where the Bahraini team got its start. In 1937, Bruce Leslie McLaren was born in New Zealand, destined to make a mark on the racing world. Out of the 3 people living in New Zealand, Bruce was considered the best and earned himself a place in European competition thanks to a programme run by the New Zealand International Grand Prix organisation. In 1966, Bruce decided to join his older brother Enzo Ferrari and start racing in an up-and-coming, little-known series called Formula One. For the first 2 years, Bruce went all out to secure good results for his team. The engineers worked hard on his car, but due to a small budget, they cut costs and had to use engines from BRM, a British manufacturer who were more focused on speed than reliability. Bruce realised his mistake. He decided to contact Ford's engine division and was able to switch his cars to American power for the next year.
This is the new 1968 Ford F1 engine,
allowing him to finally win races and take second in the 1968 Team Championship. For the next few years, the team was fighting for wins and on their way to great success in Formula One. Sadly, Bruce would lose his life doing what he loved while testing at Goodwood Circuit in 1970, never seeing his team win a world championship. However, McLaren would carry on his legacy. McLaren would come under new leadership and needed to bounce back into race-winning form. Their team would win their first world championship with Fittipaldi in 1974. Things were looking good for McLaren. Fittipaldi, however, had other ideas and left unexpectedly to race for his brother's team. Therefore, they decided to hire CEO of SEX James Hunt to drive for the team and lead them towards more championships. Unfortunately for them, being CEO of SEX meant that James Hunt was rather preoccupied and would only go on to win 1 title with the team, with the infamous 1976 season being immortalised in the hit Disney Plus Marvel Studios comedy buddy cop limited run series Rush. The leadership of McLaren realised they needed to choose more reliable drivers for their lineup. They sought the partnership of Austrian physicist Niki the Computer Lauda and French professor Alain le Professeur Prost. With this driver partnership, McLaren was able to secure multiple titles. Lauda and Prost would rival each other for the Drivers' Championship. With reliable and quick cars, McLaren was finally the team to beat, taking Bruce's dream and converting it into reality. Finally, those pesky Italians at Maranello could only watch and weep. Ayrton Senna, regarded as one of the greatest drivers to race in F1, joined McLaren in 1988. Partnered with the Japanese manufacturer Honda to supply their engines, McLaren became the dominant team in Formula One. With Alain Prost's sensible and smart leadership, what could possibly go wrong? It all went horribly wrong. While McLaren Honda were able to win the championship, their drivers would not work with each other. While many predicted Prost would come out on top in their first championship battle, Senna was actually able to defeat Prost to win his first title in 1988. Honda provided the most dominant engines the team had ever experienced, allowing them to win 15 of the 16 races held that season. However, the team grew further apart. Prost had made it clear that he felt Honda preferred Senna. Prost realised this when he overheard Honda engineers discussing an off switch they had secretly installed on his car, allowing Senna to blow up his car at will.
If you press the button, the car will explode.
Honda and McLaren assured Prost that for the 1989 season, Senna would not have this ability, but he was suspicious. The season was close between the two drivers, with the title being up for grabs heading into the penultimate race at Suzuka in Japan. The race remains one of the most controversial in F1's history. Senna fell back at the start, while Prost led the majority of the race. On lap 46 of 53, Senna knew he would only have one opportunity to get past the professor, so he decided to absolutely send Prost in a crucial move. Prost, however, closed the door, resulting in a catastrophic crash between the two drivers. Senna was able to keep his car running, and with the help of marshals pushing his car and giving him a track guide mid-race, he was able to win the penultimate race of the season, but would later be disqualified. Alain Prost would take the championship. After the intense season between the two teammates, Prost stormed the McLaren Honda headquarters and threw his contract into their faces, disgusted with the treatment he had received. Prost decided to betray McLaren and join longtime rival Ferrari for the 1990 season. McLaren Honda vowed to defeat Prost and stop him at any cost. After a nail-biting season between the two rival teams, Senna and Prost were once again fighting for the championship in the penultimate race. McLaren Honda knew that things had to go differently this time. They could not allow Prost's betrayal to defeat them. In one of F1's most shocking historical moments, Honda executives went to the Yakuza headquarters to hire an assassin disguised as Senna to eliminate Prost in the race. The stage was set. With the assassin in place, both drivers headed into turn 1. Prost would survive this attempt, but Senna, who was disguised and watching from the sidelines, would be crowned as the 1990 Drivers' Champion. McLaren Honda would win its 6th championship. Their plan had worked. They had defeated their rival Ferrari. McLaren's dominance came to an end. After its defining years with Prost and Senna, they began to fall back through the field. They needed a driver, a hero, that could bring the team back. Luckily for them, this man appeared in their garage during the 1993 season. Mika Hakkinen, a Finnish driver with talent, alcohol and determination flowing through his veins, was ready to carry McLaren back to the front of the field. After a big night out in Portimao, forgetting he had no contract for the year, Hakkinen found his way into the McLaren paddock, setting a storming lap on the Saturday whilst nobody was looking, out-qualifying McLaren number 1 Senna. After such a showing, the team had no choice but to sign him. Hakkinen was signed for a 3-year contract starting the next year. Hakkinen would make sure the McLarens would stay at the front of the grid. Despite reliability problems, Hakkinen managed 4th in the Drivers' Championship. After a good start, the next couple of years were a lesson for the team, with drivers unable to fit in their car, brake, throttle and cock pit issues, as well as being disqualified for using illegal fuels. McLaren was struggling. The engineers had to get their heads down, and with the help of legendary designer Adrian Newey, they did. Providing a race-winning radioactive car for the 1998 season, McLaren would lead the pack for the next couple of years. After a disappointing 2001 season, Hakkinen announced that he would leave for next year to spend more time with his family. His seat was taken for the following season by successful McLaren driver cloning program subject Kimi Raikkonen Mark 7. However, in the early 2000s, a certain German man proceeded to partner with Ferrari. Newey departed the team, Hakkinen had left, and his clone could only do so much. McLaren's form would decline yet again over the next few years. After these blows, Renault and Ferrari would call the shots. McLaren had their worst form in over a decade. To top it off, Raikkonen's AI was hacked, and he left the team for Ferrari. Those pesky Italians had stolen a championship winner from right under their nose. McLaren was furious. Now that Ferrari had stolen a driver yet again, Ron Dennis, CEO of McLaren and former MI6 boss, recruited a secret agent to get back at the Italian team. The agent knew that he would only have one opportunity to break into the Maranello facility. Waiting for sunset, he memorized the armed guard's patterns. A golden opportunity appeared. By law, Italians cannot work past 3 PM. Using this knowledge, he broke into the facility. Luckily for him, on the reception counter was a full stack of Ferrari blueprints. A swift swindle, and the slippery spy was off, and returned back to Woking, England. He had done it. McLaren was ready for the 2007 season. With the driver pairing of Lewis Hamilton and Fernando Alonso, plus the Ferrari blueprints in hand, the team was ready to dominate once again.
Now about the McLaren Formula One team, who were found guilty today in Paris of using leaked technical documents that belong to the Ferrari team. It's been known all summer as what you've heard as Spygate.
McLaren had been exposed. Ron Dennis made a crucial mistake. While attempting to copy the documents, McLaren's photocopier broke. The agent dispatched his wife to the local Curry's PC World to get copies of the stolen documents. Unfortunately for the agent, Curry's PC World in Woking had a die-hard Ferrari fan who noticed the documents being copied and decided to make a quick call to the Ferrari headquarters. They were caught red-handed. The FIA launched an investigation and found McLaren guilty of stealing Ferrari's blueprints. They were punished with a $100 million fine, the largest in sporting history. McLaren was set back years and are still to this day recovering from that fine. While the team was able to stay competitive for a few years, especially with Hamilton and Jenson Button giving the team good performances, they could only carry the team so far. The turbo hybrid engines have been a difficult era for the team. McLaren, who was once the team to beat, had fallen from grace. They tried to reverse the trend with new engines, but a revived partnership between Honda and the team failed to perform. They tried with Renault, but that went as well as you would expect. And now the team has switched back to Mercedes. The 2022 season has shown that those pesky Italians at Maranello have nailed it once again, whilst McLaren is still struggling in the midfield. New and old fans of McLaren alike celebrate every podium that they receive, but only a few decades ago, this was normal for the team. Across the F1 paddock, McLaren is respected for its history and its ability to stay fighting at the front of the field. But for now, the team must focus on its comeback in future. With new leadership, a driver lineup consisting of young full-time Twitch streamer Lando Norris and some Australian man that TikTok women obsess over, the team's comeback to the front is not impossible. McLaren's legacy is respected by all Formula One fans, and we would all be sad to see the team leave the sport.